What's good, everybody? My summer has officially begun, and what better way to kick it off than with the Big Mac no Donald, alright? This weekend, as we all know, McGregor's coming back after damn near half a decade to fight Maximus Jamal Holloway. And this card, it's low-key stacked, bro. We got Whittaker, we got the GOAT Damian Pinas, we got Cody Garbrant, we got St. Denis, we got hella fellas, alright? So let's get into it with the predictions. Starting off with the early prelims, we actually have a banger. Sneaky banger I was not expecting. Costa versus Cody Durden. I had to go watch some highlights of these fellas to see, what they get up to because I had no idea. And early in his career, I saw that Costa was a jiu-jitsu guy. He had some good stand-up. He just recently in the UFC destroyed Kevin Borjas on the feet with the leg kicks. He's had some losses, right? Costa has. But compared to Cody Durden, that shit was nothing, bro. I deadass clicked on a highlight tape of Cody Durden, and this dude was getting styled on. I was like, who's Durden? Because this guy has the shorts, his name says it's Durden. But this guy's getting styled on, bro. He's 18-10, and you guys know I hate picking fighters that have near even records, alright? I can't speak. In jiu-jitsu, my jiu-jitsu comps, my record's looking like 0, bro. I got like the same amount of wins as losses. But professional MMA fighters, professional fighters of any kind, if your wins are anywhere near your losses, I'm not picking you, bro, alright? I'm going to pick Costa via late submission, like a round 3 sub. I could see Cody Durden maybe getting hurt on the feet, maybe getting his feet swept out from under him with a leg kick, shooting a sloppy takedown, and getting right into like a front headlock choke, guillotine, anaconda, Darce choke, Peruvian necktie, fuck it, bro, anything, alright? Next matchup, Ryan Gandra versus Zachary Reese. Now, this is what I think could be like fight of the night, or like finish of the night. It could be a really good fight for as long as it lasts. Gandra, this is his second fight in the UFC. He came from the LFA, from the Contender Series. He's come from some good promotions, right? Zachary Reese has been here a little bit longer, but from what I saw in the tapes, Ryan Gandra's on a crazy, he has some good-ass power. He's on a 4-fight knockout streak. He's a brawler. He has really good hooks. And Zach Reese, watching his highlight tape, he's kind of the same. He's kind of like Ryan Gandra, like less power, but a better jiu-jitsu game. He has a better guard, right? I think this could be a very, very sneaky fight of the night for however long it lasts. I think these two are both going to brawl. They have very similar styles, especially on the feet. And just because I've seen Zachary Reese get chinned once or twice, I think he got slammed by Cody Brundage, and Azamat Bakoev, I think, elbowed him into a TKO, right? I'm just going to pick Gandra via round 1 knockout, but this is a pick that I'm not confident at all. Both of these guys could slime each other out in the first round, second round, third round. And I think for however long this fight lasts, is going to be entertaining. And I will be tuned in, right? We will be tuned in. On to the next matchup. Farid Basharat versus John Garza. Now, Ethan Ewing stepped out. And instead, now we got John Doe, bro. You might as well call him John Doe, because after Basharat's done 30-27 walk-off decisioning him, he's going to look like John Doe, right? He's going to be an unidentified corpse. No, man, I mean, Ethan Ewing, I was excited to see this fight because this guy's very well-rounded. He's very technical, just like, Farid Basharat. I think that would have been a really close fight, a really good technical fight. Some of the casuals might have thought, it was really boring or whatever. But now that he's gone and they've grabbed some random kid, literally on less than a week's notice, off of the American Contender Series, American regional scene, he's cooked, bro. I think Basharat's just going to hit a signature, 29-28, walk-off decision. And that's going to be it for John Garza. Maybe he'll get a contract for stepping in on such short notice, lose once or twice, and then be gone. He looks really young. It sucks that he's getting this opportunity when he's like 6-0 only in his career, against Farid Basharat, who's just... You don't even have a chance to fluke KO him, in my opinion, because he's super defensively sound. He keeps his distance, and that's what makes him, and him and his brother, a little bit boring. But yeah, man, give me Farid Basharat by just unanimous decision. 28-27 walk-off, whatever you want, right? On to an actual banger matchup. Damian Pinas versus Cesar Almeida. Now, you guys know how it is. The GOAT Pinas is going to get this one done in the first round, bro. Pinas is a fast finisher. Hashtag relatable. He has a 100% finish rate. I think the only loss he has on his record is via an illegal strike. He hit someone on the ground with a kick maybe, like a soccer kick, and they disqualified him, on some John Jones shit. It's basically a loss that doesn't count, in my opinion. I think other than that, he's 9-1, so he would be 10-1 if not for that illegal strike. And he's just really good, man. He's young. He's 25, and Cesar Almeida is genuinely and unironically a guy that has lost to Roman Kopylov, 38 years old, chopped, out of shape. Yeah, man, I don't know. I see the matchup on Topology. This guy's Cesar Almeida's 10-3. Pinas is like 9-1. You know, on paper, they look like kind of even records. But, bro, you look at the fighting styles, you look at who they lost to. No, man. Give me Damian Pinas via first round knockout. Like this, I think this is probably one of the safer picks on this card. And it might be crazy because we're in the prelims. And the prelim fighters, you know, they're not proven. They haven't fought that much, whatever. Unless we're talking about UFC 300 prelims where Cody Garbrant was opening the card. But yeah, I mean, Damian Pinas, some people might doubt him. That's not me, bro. This guy is a shredded, real deal middleweight fighter going up against someone who's out of shape. Could be a welterweight if he really locked in and has lost to Roman Kopylov, right? Pinas is longer, pause. He's thicker, pause. He's more well-defined, you know, more veiny. Give me that man by knockout, all right? Next fight, and the final fight, I believe, of the prelims. Tracy Cortes versus Wang Cong. Now, these are two baddies. These are two fighters that, you know, they're all right in WMMA. But I personally really like Wang Cong. She's my second favorite Chinese fighter, WMMA fighter, after, of course, Weili Zhang. And I just think she's just going to out-volume Tracy Cortes on the feet. I don't think there's much to say for this matchup. You know, like what do you want me to say? You know, the outside foot battle. You know, Wang Cong has a really good check hook to the liver. Like, personally, I just think Wang Cong is going to slightly out-volume Tracy Cortes, who tends to be a little bit of more of a range fighter. She has okay boxing, good defensive wrestling, good defensive jiu-jitsu. But I just don't think she's going to be, you know, just active enough. And I do see Wang Cong winning all 3 rounds. So just Wang Cong, 30-27 unanimous decision. Pretty good, pretty easy pick up there with the Damian Pinas pick, all right? On to the preliminaries, the prelim fights. Now, these fights get pretty interesting, starting off with Kamaka the third, okay? Kamaka the third versus Luke Riley. I believe Luke Riley is a training partner of Paddy Pimblett. So, you know, not the biggest fan of that fella, if you guys don't know about my channel, but Kamaka third, his nickname is genuinely the Fighting Hawaiian, as if not all the Hawaiians that I've ever met in my life have some sort of like story of being in a fight. Like, bro, you are not special by any chance. And I just think this is one of those matchups where, yes, Kamaka has a really solid chin. He has good survivability, you know, on that Hawaiian timing, but he has zero head movement. He has completely linear defensive movement forward and backwards. Like, this guy does not move laterally, right? And he has pretty basic striking. You know, he'll throw in the occasional hook, but all I've seen from him is like 1-2 left hook. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty basic stuff. I don't see many kicks from him. I don't see many knees, elbows, stuff like that. And I just think this is one of those fights, you know, early in a fighter's career for Luke Riley, that he's just a more well-rounded striker. He's just a more well-rounded MMA fighter. I think he's better on the ground. He mixes up better on the feet. Maybe Kamaka has more power. Definitely has a better chin. But I don't see Luke Riley getting fluked. I really don't. And, I mean, yes, Luke Riley's only, like, knockout is Bogdan Grad. And it isn't really that impressive because he's basically the featherweight Yuri Prochazka, you know, gets knocked out by a gust of wind. Shout out Yuri, that's my boy. I just think Riley is going to get this one done. He can't finish Kamaka. There's no way unless it's like a weird submission. But I don't see Kamaka getting finished. Definitely not getting knocked out. So give me Luke Riley via 30-27 decision. I think this is, again, another pretty solid pick. Like Tracy Cortes pick, Wang Cong pick, Luke Riley pick, Damian Pinas pick, and Farid Basharat. I think all of those, if you put those 4 in a parlay, you're cooking, man. Not me personally because I don't gamble. All right, I'm a man of God now. I don't gamble. I don't drink. I'm boring. All right, I'm a chud. Give me Luke Riley via decision. All right. Next fight: Cody Garbrant versus Yanez. Now this is a very tragic matchup because I do want the Cody title run to continue. Both of these guys are on pretty crazy downfalls. I remember when Yanez came into UFC, he was a pretty hyped up prospect. But when you're going up against Cody Garbrant, you always have to look at the formula. All right. Does the enemy of Cody Garbrant, does the opponent he's facing have enough power to knock him out? If yes, you gotta pick him. If no, you pick Cody. And I think in this case, I refuse to believe that we're going to get a 2016 Kobe, you know, bobbing and weaving for the whole 3 rounds. I think we're going to see him get a little bit unconscious, all right? I don't know if Yanez is that good at this point in his career. You know, Adrian Yanez did come in here with some really solid boxing. He was looking really good earlier in his career. But I refuse to believe that not a single point during this whole fight, Yanez isn't going to land clean on Cody Garbrandt. And I think when he does, it's going to be lights out. I really like Cody Garbrandt. I wish I could pick him. I like he's on a little bit of a win streak right now. I think he's got 2 wins Or maybe only one over that Chinese guy that had him throwing up from the nut shots. But yeah, man, give me Yanez via knockout. I think third round. Third round, Yanez knockout. Cody Garbrant wins the first two probably by decision. You know, judges give him the first two. Unfortunately, he doesn't make out the third. Maybe he gets confident, starts emoting a little bit, slimed out. Okay? Next fight, Gable Stevenson versus the Snack Panther or Elisha Ellison. I would give anything in the world to see Elisha Ellison, the Snack Panther, get a win over the non-consenting toucher, Gable Stevenson, bro. I do not like this guy. If Gable Stevenson loses, not only are we getting a low-key predator losing, right? That's always great. We're also getting a Jon Jones indirect loss. Anything that means Jon Jones losing, to me, that's a W. I hate Jon Jones with every fiber of my being. But man, this guy's name is literally the Snack Panther. Like, were there no other options left for your nickname, my brother? There is no rule in the UFC. It's not mandatory by any account, by any governing body, that you need to have a nickname. If your nickname is going to be the Snack Panther, you don't need to have a nickname. It's okay. You can be Elijah Ellison, bro. That's a cool name, Elisha Ellison. That's not that bad. Okay? I'm going to give Elisha some grace. I'm going to say that Gable gets this done 29-20 or 28-27. Like, it's a close decision. Maybe Elisha gets one round a little controversially. I just think maybe the lights of the UFC are going to be a little too bright for Stevenson. He's only had 3 MMA fights. He's never had like this amount. Maybe, you know, in his college wrestling days, he's had big crowds or whatever. But this is completely different. Lights shining real bright. I'm going to say 28-27, Gable Stevenson wins. Maybe he gasses out near the third round, and that's when Elisha Ellison gets a win, and then people start calling it a robbery because the last round was a win for Elisha, whatever. I hope Elisha wins. I really do. But I have to give it to Gable, man. He's going to be the overwhelming... I haven't even seen the odds, but he's going to be the overwhelming favorite. Just get this predator out the sport, bruh. All right? Next fight. Headlining the prelims, we got Bobber Knuckles. Bobby Knuckles is back, man. I was really scared, and I am really scared for Bobby Knuckles coming up to 205 just because, like, just exactly for matchups like this, right? Krylov, skill for skill, he's not as good as Whittaker. He will never be, you know, Whittaker former champ. He was really good. He had a really close fight with Israel Adesanya. He beat Yoel Romero twice. He beat Paulo Costa. Like, he's a really, really good fighter, right? Overall, yes, he's older now. Yes, he's chinnier now. But overall, he's a really great fighter. But facing Krylov is like that one time they asked Tyrese Maxey about his welcome to the NBA moment, and he was talking about how Ish Smith got him with that cross, like some random guy. It's like, yeah, he gonna get you with that cross, bro. Nikita Krylov will genuinely get you with that 1-2 down the pipe, bro. At some point, he will shoot that 1-2 down the pipe. Whittaker's gonna eat that shit. Hopefully survive, right? And then win the fight. That's how I'm seeing it. Can Whittaker survive the 1-2 from Nikita Krylov that we know he's gonna land at some point? Maybe multiple points in the fight. I hope he can. I will not say that I think he can. I will say I hope he can. Whittaker was a very small middleweight. He is now going to be an even smaller light heavyweight. He's going to look like a literal baby in there. But I have to pick him to win, bro. Robert Whittaker, via keeping his range, karate blitzing, and disengaging correctly for 3 rounds to a decision, all right? I cannot in good faith pick Whittaker by finish. I can't pick him by submission, definitely not. Can't pick him by KO. Whittaker just needs to survive in there for 3 rounds, outpoint Krylov, and the judges will give him the nod. I trust. All right? On to the main card, and this main card is absolutely stacked. Honestly, this first fight, Bobby Green versus Terrence McKinney, I don't know why this is above Whittaker versus Krylov, bro. Like, this could be a perfectly good prelim headliner. That would be totally fine with me. But I guess we're starting off the main card with this, all right? But yeah, man. Bobby King Green. We got 2 bobbers fighting back-to-back. Absolute cinema. We got Whittaker and Bobby Green, right? Very great. And I think this matchup is probably the perfect encapsulation of Hydrogen Baby versus Coughing Bomb, or maybe Stoppable Force versus Stoppable Force, right? One of those matchups. Both guys can chin each other, have chinned people like each other, have been chinned, you know, really early in the fight. I think Terrence McKinney has never seen a 3rd round in his entire career or some crazy stat like that. Like, this guy's genuinely either going out there chinning people or getting chinned right away. But from the momentum, from the trajectory of their careers, I know Bobby Green is way older, but he's on a nice little streak. I think he's on a 3-fight win streak. And I just see this fight, and I just think of those like YouTube compilations that you used to see back in the day, where it was like Unc School's Young Buck, where it's like an older dude just beating the fuck out of a younger dude. And hey man, Bobby Green via 1st round KO. I'm picking this shit based off of vibes This is honestly a coin flip matchup. Who's getting chinned first? I think Bobby Green has more experience. He's going to be more composed because Terrence McKinney is probably going to be the Bobby Green in like 10 years. Not 10 years. How old is he? He's probably going to be like Bobby Green. He's going to be in Bobby Green status in like 5 to 7 years from now. Okay, we skipped over a very important number. I would have said a different number, but I can't trust the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, man. I think Bobby Green will chin McKinney probably first round, maybe early second round, and I could see a left hook. Honestly, again, coin flip matchup. Pick whatever you want, and you got it, bro. Your prediction is as good as mine for this one. On to the next matchup. Brandon Royval versus Loner Kavanagh. No, when I first picked this fight in my mind, I thought I was going insane, bro. I was going to pick Brandon Royval. I'm like, I just see this fight being too clearly, this is too big of a step up for Kavanagh, whatever. But then today, right before making this video, I was looking at some tape, and I was like, holy shit. Brandon Royval is literally so sloppy on the feet. And so I had to adjust my opinion, bro. I had to adjust it. Kavanagh did really well with an older Moreno who's around his height. And even though he will be at a height disadvantage with Brandon Royval, I think Kavanagh can do him similar to how Van did him. Kavanagh is bigger than Van. Both wider, taller, everything. More reach, everything. And I think he can get on the inside. He has those longer punch combinations. Both him and Van don't have power. But Van was still able to rock Royval and drop him bad in the third round. This is, you know, obviously Royval is a really big frame maxer at 125, but his method of primary defense is just leaning back. Because, yeah, that works against the midgets, but Loner Kavanagh is so good with the combination. This guy's like Ilia Topuria at flyweight, bro. He extends his combos, 7-punch, 8-punch, 9-punch combinations. He catches people at the end of them. He doesn't have the power of Ilia, obviously, but he does have the combinations, and I think that's Brandon Royval or any long fighter, right? Pause. Any long fighter's weakness is the long combinations because they lean out the way and they get caught with the 5th strike, 6th strike, right? 8th strike. Again, I'm skipping over a number here. I think that's what happened with Volkanovski against Ilia. Volkanovski, of course, isn't a tall fighter, but he does have a crazy reach. This fucker's arms are built like giraffe necks. So he does have the method of like leaning away from the strikes, you know, taking the first one on the shoulder, you know, leaning out the second one, whatever. These guys are vulnerable to getting caught with the later strikes. And I think that's going to be the story of this fight. I think Kavanagh will just have higher output. He's going to have more meaningful strikes. And he's going to constantly catch Royval. Not drop him. I don't think he's going to drop Royval. But he's going to keep catching him at the end of these combinations over and over again. I don't think Royval will go to the grappling. Even if he does, I do trust in Kavanagh's defensive jiu-jitsu. So yeah, man. This is definitely the best matchup. One of the best matchups in flyweight division right now, and the flyweights, like, this is the best division in the sport by far, right? But I do have to say Kavanagh via 15-minute, you know, 3-round decision, unanimous decision. Best division in the sport right now by far. I have a video on the channel. Next matchup and the featured fight of the night, Cory Sandhagen versus Mario Bautista. I think this is probably the easiest fight to pick on the main card for me. Low-key by far, okay? Both of these guys lack finishing power. I don't want to hear nobody talking about the fucking Frankie Edgar knee, okay? Both of these guys lack finishing power. They're very well-rounded, both on the feet and on the ground. And I just think Cory Sandhagen is just way more well-rounded. Well, not way more. He's just significantly more well-rounded. They're around, you know, Mario Bautista is younger. He is more chopped, of course. Look at this man's face. But I think Cory Sandhagen, he's not out of his prime. I don't know. I don't even know when you would put Cory Sandhagen's prime, but he's not out of it. He's going to have higher output. He's going to have, you know, I think he's going to get the edge of Mario Bautista in the scrambles for sure. And he's just a more well-rounded MMA fighter. It's just going to be maybe on the feet, a slow, low output, very technical, very feint heavy fight. A lot of people are going to call it boring. You know, I actually might call it boring myself, so I won't call those people out. It's going to be a low output on the feet and on the ground, some cool scrambles, but that's going to be about it. Maybe a sub attempt, you know, cheeky little reverse triangle attempt from Mario Bautista. You know, I can see that happening. But Cory Sandhagen via like split decision, that should actually be a unanimous decision. That's my pick, okay? Sandhagen via split decision should be a unanimous. One judge gives it to Mario for whatever fucking reason. But yeah, man. Pretty boring fight. But it's necessary. Necessary for this division. I think it's a good fight. Whoever wins this is like 2 fights away from a title. Unless it's Bautista. Motherfucker's not getting a title shot. Okay? Next fight and the actual co-main event of the evening. Elite matchmaking. I love this fight for so many reasons. The first way I love this fight, like my number one most, like the reason I love this fight so much is because I do think Benoit will win. And that will push Pimblett far as fuck away from Ilia Topuria. I do not want Paddy Pimblett to sniff Ilia Topuria in any way. And not because I'm scared of him winning. I just don't want to see that image. I don't want to see the build up to that fight. I don't want to see them step, like, it's just going to look like AI to see Ilia Topuria in the cage with Paddy Pimblett. It's a complete mismatch. I know everyone's hating now after the Gaethje performance. Yes, you know, Paddy Pimblett lasted longer against Gaethje, whatever. Styles really make fights, people, man. And I think Ilia came in there with a bad game plan. Again, I'm coping. I'm a Spanish fan, whatever. But, all right, let's just talk about this fight, okay? I don't want to get into that shit. I have 2 videos crying about that on my channel. Fucking hell, all right? This is the fight I'm most excited on this card by far. Fuck Conor McGregor, bro. I want to see Paddy Pimblett get brutalized over 3 rounds. In my video, when I was talking about Michel Pereira, you know, the video that got genuinely taken down after I mentioned a certain country with a certain blue and white flag, all right? I talked about that there were fighters in this sport that I will not pick morally, no matter what. And that is a promise to you guys. It's a promise to myself. I promise that on the lives of my 2 children, my 2 cats, okay? These fighters are Michel Pereira, okay, self-explanatory. Bo Nickel, this is the one that might actually leave this list if he redeems himself in his next fights. Chito Vera, and of course, Paddy Pimblett. I despise the mentality of Paddy Pimblett with a passion, bro. He's delusional, and I think all fighters should be delusional, so that's not my issue with him. The issue is that he has no willingness to improve. You go back and you watch this motherfucker's earlier fights, and he looks the same as he does now. He fights the same as he does now. This motherfucker genuinely thinks he's champ material. Up against the fence, throwing up triangles, bro. You've done the same shit for your whole career. And you've gotten exposed multiple times. Even in the Jared Gordon fight, I think that was a robbery where he got exposed. And he has no willingness to change. This guy beats Michael Chandler, Unk. Bobby Green, after Bobby Green slips into a takedown, right? Unk as well. Fucking Ferguson takes him to a decision. Jesus Christ, right? Taking Ferguson to a decision at this age. He fights the same way he does as he did when he first started, and that's my biggest issue with him. He has no willingness to improve, and every time he wins, he's just getting that shit reinforced. I need this guy to go on like a 3-4 fight loss streak. Like, not because I despise him as a person, but just so he sees that, hey man, like, you lost, and it's because you suck right now. You need to improve your style, the shit that got you here. It's not enough to keep it going. Okay? That Justin Gaethje fight was not a fluke. Yes, you did get eye poked, but you also got beat the fuck up for 5 rounds straight. Okay? I don't think he won. Maybe he won 1 round off of Justin Gaethje. And I think that's what's going to happen here against Benoit St. Denis. And I think Benoit is actually going to be the first fighter to finish Paddy Pimblett. He's super aggressive, has a really good chin, you know, outside of when he had staff against Dustin Poirier. And he has really, really, really good pressure. I don't think Paddy can knock out BSD with his power. And I also don't think Benoit is going to have like a one-shot finish over Paddy, right? Like, no one's saying that. I think Paddy's chin is probably going to be worse off than when it was against Gaethje. But Benoit is going to crack that shit. I believe that BSD will overwhelm Paddy. 2 rounds, first 2 rounds is going to be bloody, but he's going to slowly get the better of him. And in the 3rd round, he will crumple Paddy Pimblett, maybe like over, some body shots. BSD is a headhunter, so I could see like 1-2 and then throwing up a head kick, hitting him pretty bad, rocking Paddy, dropping him. Paddy's never going to go out cold. That would be absolutely insane. I would love that to happen, right? Actually, no. I want Paddy to get TKO'd because if he gets out cold, he's just going to get on Instagram and be like, hey man, I got caught. I got caught, you know, like shit happens. Like he's going to say he got caught, everyone gets caught, whatever. No, man. I need you to get TKO'd up against the fence. I need you to get outskilled, outpressured, dominated. For your sake, I want you to change your style. I want you to improve, okay? So BSD via round 3 TKO. I swear, I feel like a mother hitting her child saying, this hurts me more than it hurts you. Paddy, this hurts me more than it hurts you, brother. I need you to get TKO'd for your sake. This is for your own good. I promise. All right? On to the main event of the video. And I never thought I would see the day, bro. I am predicting a Conor McGregor fight. I genuinely thought I would never see this man in the octagon ever again. I've seen the odds, okay? On Topology, Conor's like a 180 underdog only. And I think we've gotten swept up in the year of the upset. Yes. Outside of Volk and I don't know who else, everything's been an upset, right? Starting off, Gaethje and Paddy. Gaethje got the win. Who else? Carlos Olberg, got chinned Yuri Prochazka even though he was losing that fight. And he was kind of an underdog, right? Who else? Khamzat, he got fucking decision by Strickland. And then Gaethje finished Ilya at the White House. Like, we've had crazy upsets. Even like if we count 365 days, so like a calendar, like not a calendar year, right? We count a year. Merab getting 50-45 by Petr Yan, crazy finish. But I think we've gotten swept up in the like hype of the year of the upset, and I don't blame you guys, right? I don't blame me either, because I've genuinely gotten like, I've started thinking like, oh man, is this fight really gonna be closer than I think? This isn't that. I don't believe so. Okay. I don't believe so. I'm sorry to say, if you're only here because you're a Conor fan and it's the first time you tune into the UFC in 4 years, I think Conor's taken off way too much time from the sport. He's taken like 4 years, damn near a decade, like half a decade. And I think he will look bigger than Max. He will be bigger than Max. He might look a little bit sharper in the first round. Max isn't the most clean looking fighter. He does absorb a lot of damage. But I cannot see Conor McGregor knocking out Max Holloway. And that is the only path to victory for McGregor. He's not submitting Holloway, obviously, and I don't think he can win a decision. Unless he can survive the last 2 rounds, you could arguably give him the first 3, whatever, like on some Nate Diaz 2 type shit. Max Holloway will get the better of Conor McGregor after the 2nd round, at most. I believe 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round are like very comfortably in Max Holloway's favor because of the cardio, because this guy's actually been a fighter that's been active, that's been fighting. Do not fall for the Conor McGregor propaganda. Do not fall for the hype. We're not in 2016 anymore, okay? We're grown-ass men, right? Grown adults with poop fetishes, okay? That are chill pedos, all right? That's all of us. And we're in the year of 2026. We are 10 years from the magical 2016 where Conor McGregor was doing what he was doing, okay? We're far removed from this sport. Last time we see this man in the octagon, he fought Cowboy Cerrone and shoulder strike them to oblivion, okay? That was 4 years ago. Do not get swept up. I feel like this is a therapy video. I feel like this is a motivational video. Do not get swept up in the hype of Conor McGregor. Trust your instinct, right? Do not follow your heart on this one. Max Holloway will win this fight. And if he loses, fucking hell, man. I don't even know what I can say at this point, because I don't want to bet nothing important, because we're genuinely in the year of the upset. Strickland genuinely got a win over Hamza, and Gaethje actually fluked Ilya around. Gaethje genuinely beat Ilya. That's crazy. That's insane. I don't even know what to say at this point, bro. Don't trust it. Don't trust your heart. Don't go with Conor McGregor, even though your heart's telling you to. Even though the patterns of life are telling you to. Trust, okay? Just trust. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry I couldn't give a more analytical breakdown of that fight. I just don't see Conor McGregor winning in any way. Definitely not a knockout, especially with Max Holloway's chin. You know, maybe you want to say it's cracked, whatever, but whatever. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think about these fights? Do you guys think actually Conor McGregor will get a knockout? Will it be a Conor McGregor decision victory on some fucking Hamza versus DDP, right? No one expected Hamza to win by decision. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go drink some water. Ciao.